How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to JDC Studio. My name is Jacob, and I just created my first PolyTrack custom track. It's right here. Let me just show you the track. So you start in, I guess, like a gateway or something, and then you go through here. I wanted to pretend this was like a parking lot. Eventually, I might turn this into a full road, but that's what it is for now. And then, oh yeah, back over here, I added these walls here because I thought they looked cool. And then I have a bit of a sidewalk. I couldn't get the sidewalk to go like into the road without it looking ugly because then it would be partially cutting in. How do I wait? Let me align the perspective right so that you guys can see. Okay, what? Yeah, so the sidewalk just goes like over there. The other end of the sidewalk goes into this building right here, which is kind of just a check-in line. And then this is the main road. And so the first checkpoint is over here. And then for the second checkpoint, is on two different levels. They are both at the same spot, as you can see. But there's this kind of ice monorail over here. And it's 3 spots directly above it. And then if you go over here, there's a bit of twists and turns. And by the way, this track was originally one that I generated, and then I added a bunch of stuff to make it better, you know? So that's basically what it is. And then after these twists and turns, you actually have a choice. You can either go straight over that way, or you can go to the right. I'll show you the right path first because I think it's cooler. So there's a bunch of arrows, and then you get to go inside this building. In this first room, it's pretty tall and stuff. If you look to the top, over there you can actually see a fan that I custom made using some of the tools that they had. And then if you go into the next room, it's basically an ice room where I covered all the walls in the ice track material. And then in the middle, I just put a hole for decoration. Make sure not to fall in it. Oh yeah, also for an obstacle, of course, because then if you fall in, well, that's not good because you can't, there's no way back out and you'll have to reset to the next checkpoint. And then I put a little bit of a stabilizer right there. That's pretty much all that's in there. And then, you know, the black and white things are supposed to be windows, but of course they are visible from the inside too. And then the next part of the track, if you go this way, is out here. And then this takes you back out of the building. This is the 4th checkpoint. And then there's a ramp, which takes you back onto the other part. And this is basically where the two roads merge back together, even though technically only the other pathway is actually connected to it. And then this part, I didn't really change much about it. I could make it a little more interesting, but I don't know. And then, so I just passed through the 5th checkpoint. And then you also have a choice here. That aforementioned ice monorail, as you can see, also comes in right here. And so if you want, you could just take the normal road, or you could take the monorail as it goes over to the next checkpoint. And if you want a little bit of scenery of that, it just kind of goes over there. And then you can kind of see the second checkpoint, as I showed earlier, and the first as well, and even where we started, as well as a lot of other stuff. And so after, let's actually reset, so you have the proper perspective. After the 6th checkpoint, there's a loop-de-loop. Woo. And then after that, there's a long ramp, which ends at this building. And then you finish back in that same building. Woo, I'm the best in the world. So now I'm going to do a second run to show you other stuff that I didn't show you before. And, oh, whoa. I already went so much faster. Oh my gosh, it's so glitchy. Oh yeah, I forgot to show you that you could also, if you have enough speed, you could actually go through the top one. But that speed will actually take you over that whole windy section as you saw earlier. But I'm just going to go through it again. This isn't a professional run, so we can take as much time as we need. So last time I showed you that path, so we're going to take the straight path. Also a tactic, just so you know, that was the 3rd checkpoint for this section, is if you fly through the top checkpoint, which is what you should do because that's the fastest, it's better to hold forward if you're going on the right path and then hold backwards if you're going on the left, because holding backward in midair actually gives you a little bit more speed. I know that's kind of weird. I don't exactly know how it works, but holding forward actually makes you nosedive a lot further. So that'll get you in better alignment for those respective paths. And then that's where it comes back to that section. And then this time I'm going to just take the path, the track normally, to show you what that looks like. And then this is the loop-de-loop. And also, there's also another. Anyway, I was going to. Anyway, I was going to show you the other area where you can finish. So, say you don't have enough speed. So I'm gonna slow myself down a little bit. Say you don't have enough speed to make that. You're all good because there's a whole section of finish lines over here as well. Except that I crashed. which isn't supposed to happen either way. Let's try that one more time. I think even if you just reset at the checkpoint, it still isn't enough speed, so I'll just do that. Oh wait, never mind, it is. Oh, hello, Ghost of the Past. Or not, Ghost of the Past. Totally not a Christmas Carol reference. So yeah, you'll most likely fall into one of them, or if you don't, you can easily just drive into one of them. And yes, I'm first again. Woohoo! I might also show you a little bit more of that monorail because I know it's probably pretty interesting to you guys. So you can actually so glitchy. Ah! Alright, so yeah, this is the part that goes over checkpoint 2. Oh, come on. I forget every time that since there's an extra pixel due to the extra track thing that I put on top of that ramp that it's going to make me do that. I hope that made at least a little bit of sense. I tried explaining it like 5 times off camera, of course. That's why you didn't hear me explain it 5 times. But yeah, that usually trips you up. But good thing that's not part of the actual track. Okay, yeah, it seems like I can never land the right way after doing that. I mean, I suppose it's not that important. Okay, if I don't make this... Okay, yeah, so why am I just stuck there? Oh, right, because I was like talking about stuff. Oh, let's go. Oh, that was awesome. I'm so glad I was recording that one. And yeah, it basically just goes down the same way. And what I did here to make these little ramp things is the bottom ones, I used the block that's like kind of similar to the track color, but not really. And then the ones aligning the top where you drive is the desert one, or what I'm assuming at least is the desert one. So if we go back to the other side, there's a little intersection here. I might turn these into like full roads or something. I also might add a building here because this area is extremely empty. It's not that there is quite a lot to see around here. But anyway, let's get back on so I can show you that part, or like how they connect. Yeah, so I put a few ramps over here, and then a little wavy pattern, the same wavy pattern that was in between checkpoints 5 and 6 over here. And then after that, there's another one on the other side of it. And then after that, it's just the reverse pattern of those ramps, and then it brings you to the ground. And you probably noticed this already, but there's also this ramp over here that can also take you onto the last part of the track. And of course it does that as well because that part of the ground is also 1 pixel. And you guys have probably noticed the yellow and blue buildings over there in the distance, as well as the little hole that where that part of the track comes out of the red building, as well as the chimney. See that? I hope I didn't make it too big. Looking back, it looks a little bit large, but it's all right. So now I'm going to do a professional run for both paths. And just to make your lives easier, let me tell you which one I'm doing first. So I'm going to do the straight path one first because the other one, the building path, is much faster. So here we go. Cue the music.
I remember the moment I got left behind. Faces fade to black as they move from the light. Am I even real? Even real? Everywhere I look, I'm starting to feel time is eating me alive, drowning in my life. Who am I? Time is eating me.
Woo, I'm first. Again, for the 3rd time this video.
Where everything makes sense. Breathing in the lies that keep me open from the truth that keeps me holding on to your lies. What do you think you'll find me when you destroy what is inside me? I'll carry on. Say it's over when nothing's closer to what you're fighting for.
So yep, those are currently my most optimized records for both of those paths. And also, I forgot to mention, I will put the track info in the description so you guys can play it yourself. and try to beat my times. I bet someone's going to do it really fast. But anyway, that's going to be the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. But for now, that's all I've got for you, so I'll see you in the next one. JDC out.